Hey everyone, welcome to the PCS-Proof Podcast, where we're covering the vital things you need to know to thrive in every season of military life. I'm your host and milspouse fitness expert, Grace Barnick-Damazo, and I encourage you to join me each week as we dive deep into topics like fitness, wellness, and entrepreneurship as a military spouse so that you can maintain your own sense of identity and purpose, conquering every transition with strength and resilience. As we journey together, you can expect uplifting conversations and insights. We'll share some laughs, and you can count on me to keep it real so that together we can become truly PCS-proof. Now let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of the PCS-Proof Podcast. Before we jump into today's episode, I just wanted to kind of share something that was on my mind, on my heart. I just finished watching the first half of the Simone Biles docuseries on Netflix. And if you have not already watched it, I just really encourage you as women to go and give it a watch. I'm assuming that the second half is going to be put out after the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris as a continuation of her story. But the first half was just so great because she comes out and talks about her mental health journey and recovering from trauma as a big part of her continued success in athletics and her kind of, I guess you could call it comeback, although I don't really think that she went away at all. She just needed to kind of re-gear, and that's so important. You know that I'm a huge advocate of therapy and taking care of your mental health as well as your physical health and all aspects of it. And as I've gone through my own journey as a fitness enthusiast and then eventually as a fitness expert, I've come to realize that there is a direct connection between our physical and our mental health and well-being. They are directly tied together, and we can work on one individually, but when we put the two together, it's really something magical. And for her to come out and not shy away from the conversation, but just to really talk about it and show that we can come at our traumas or the things that hold us back from multiple different directions and have this team of experts around us to help us to work through those challenges and those obstacles that may hold us back. For her, continuing to achieve and strive for physical excellence. And so I just thought it was really important as not only a woman, but a woman in a position like she has and a platform that she has to use that to share her journey and share that it's okay to focus on your mental health. And maybe that means taking a step back from your physical health for the time being in order to take care of that piece. And it's only helped her become stronger. And so I just really encourage you, if you've not already watched it, it was very inspirational and just an amazing woman, a strong woman to come out and have that conversation with us. So cool. So highly encourage you to go and watch that, and then we'll look forward to seeing what she can achieve in this summer's Olympics, and then the aftermath of that when she can come back and share a little bit more about that experience with us and continue that conversation. This week, we're diving into a hot topic, literally a hot topic. We're going to be talking about how to safely exercise in the hot temperatures that we are experiencing. The globe is unquestionably getting hotter. And especially as women in military life who are living in many of the extremely hot areas of the world, it's important for us to have this conversation. For many of us, the hot weather months are a huge obstacle for staying on track with our health and our fitness routine. And especially if you're anything like me and you're not exactly your quote unquote best self in hot environments, I will be the first person to admit I am not the most pleasant person when I'm experiencing very hot temperatures. I love the winter. I love the cool months. I am not the most wonderful, pleasant, perfect self that I would like to be when the temperatures rise up. My mood is definitely impacted toward the negative when the temps creep up, especially toward the 100s. We PCS to Japan exactly 4 years ago. I can't even believe that. Exactly 4 years ago. And it was right at the start of some of the hottest weeks of the entire year for Japan. So beginning of August typically is some of the hottest few weeks of the entire year. And I immediately learned that the summer heat and the humidity in Japan are unlike anything I had ever experienced. It is no joke. And we had no air conditioning at all. In the entire 3 years that we lived in northern Japan, we had no air conditioning, and not in our housing and not in the gym where I would be working for several hours in the afternoons most days. So no AC, no relief during those hottest months of the year. So training during the summer months became a huge challenge for me, and I discovered ways to adapt and even thrive through exercising in the heat. I hate the heat. I still hate it. I have not come to love it, but I found ways to think about it as a positive for my fitness journey. And I'm more aware of methods that help me stay fit without risking my health in the high temperatures. So today I wanted to share with you some of those strategies because I can imagine that it's probably pretty hot where you are this time of year as well. And depending on where you're stationed at, it might just be hot year round. And while it would be ideal to exercise only in insulated gyms that maintain a comfortable temperature year round, that might not be the case for you. And you still really want to stay consistent and moving forward toward your fitness goals, but you also want to stay safe. So I want to give you some really cool information about how exercising in the heat can improve your health and improve your fitness levels. And I also want to give you some practical considerations for how to do it safely. Also, that you can stop allowing the hot temps to be an obstacle and instead make it an opportunity to progress. So first, let's talk about some of the amazing benefits that you can experience from exercising in the heat. These are all backed by science and they can really make a difference in your fitness journey. So the first benefit that I wanted to talk about is the enhanced cardiovascular function that you can gain from exercising in the heat. When you work out in hot conditions, your body has to work harder to keep it cool. This leads to some pretty amazing adaptations, starting with an increase in blood plasma volume. So think of this as your body's way of boosting its cooling system. More plasma means better blood flow, which improves your cardiovascular stability and its efficiency. And this translates to better performance during your workouts and a faster recovery afterward. And another great perk that goes along with that is improved cardiac output, your heart's output. Essentially, your heart becomes more efficient at pumping more blood with each beat. This not only enhances your overall cardiovascular health, but can also mean that you can push harder during exercise without feeling as exhausted. And over time, you'll notice that your resting and exercising heart rate becomes lower. And this is a clear sign that your cardiovascular system is getting stronger and more efficient. It's like your heart is becoming more fit, which is fantastic for your overall health. It's basically the same reason why top athletes will go and train at altitude. They'll go and train up in the mountains. It's the same beneficial outcome. So by choosing to embrace the heat and training smart, of course, you're giving your heart a powerful workout that pays off in better endurance and quicker recovery. Another fantastic benefit of exercising in the heat is improved thermoregulation. So when you train in hotter temperatures, your body becomes a pro at cooling itself down. One of the main ways that it does this by improving your sweat rate and your efficiency. So basically, you start sweating sooner and more effectively, which helps to keep your body temperature in check. So this might sound kind of gross. None of us really want, I don't think, to sweat more. But efficient sweating is like having your own built-in air conditioning system. Whenever I have a client who comments that they're sweating a lot more, it's an awesome sign that they're training their nervous system to more effectively respond to the increased body temperatures from exercise. So sweating more is actually a really great sign. And another great thing that happens is that your core body temperature stays lower during exercise. And this means that your body doesn't overheat as easily, even when you're working out harder. So keeping that core temperature down is crucial because it reduces your risk of heat-related issues like heat exhaustion or heat stroke. So by training in the heat, You're not just toughening up your body, you're also teaching it to stay cool and perform better in challenging conditions. This makes your workout safer and more effective, which is a huge win. And as a woman in military life, we know that we need to be prepared for anything. And this is one way to prepare your body to be ready for anything. One of the other great things about training your body to become more efficient at cooling itself is that even when you're working out in normal, cooler conditions, your body is less likely to overheat. So it's like giving your cooling system, your body's cooling system, a turbo boost. And this efficiency helps to stay comfortable and perform better even when the temperatures aren't as extreme. And another big perk along with this is faster recovery. When you exercise in the heat, it enhances blood flow and thermoregulation. We've talked about that. And that improved blood flow means that oxygen and nutrients are delivered more efficiently to your muscles, helping them recover quicker after a workout. Plus, better thermoregulation helps to flush out metabolic waste products that can cause muscle soreness and fatigue. So by incorporating some heat into your training, not only are you toughening up, but also setting yourself up for quicker recovery times. And this means that you can get back to your workouts sooner and with less discomfort, and potentially have better results, keeping your fitness momentum going strong. Another benefit, and this is one of the key cellular and molecular benefits of heat training, involves heat shock proteins, or HSPs. When you exercise in hot conditions, your body actually produces more of these proteins. And you can think of HSPs as your cell's personal bodyguards. They protect your cells from stress and help repair any damage. This means that you'll recover faster from tougher workouts, which is a big win if you're wanting to train regularly. Another fantastic benefit is enhanced muscle function. So exercising in the heat improves enzyme activity and increases the respiratory capacity of our mitochondria in our muscles. The mitochondria are like tiny power plants in your cells that produce energy. With more efficient enzymes and increased mitochondrial respiratory capacity, your muscles can perform better and for longer periods of time. This essentially means that you'll have more endurance and strength during your workouts, helping you reach your fitness goals more effectively. So by braving the heat, you're not just toughening up on the outside, you're boosting your cellular and muscle performance from the inside out, making every workout count even more. One of the key benefits of exercising in the heat is that you actually increase your VO2 max. And your VO2 max is essentially your body's ability to take in and use oxygen during exercise. So when you train in hotter conditions, your body adapts by becoming more efficient at oxygen uptake. This is crucial for endurance activities like running, cycling, or any long duration exercise because it means your muscles can get more oxygen that they need to help keep you going strong. And another awesome perk is greater stamina. Your body gets used to the heat and you'll find that you're able to sustain prolonged physical efforts much more effectively. This means longer runs, tougher workouts, and overall better performance during your training sessions. It's like building up a reserve of endurance that you can tap into when you need it most. And this is great for any of you runners or cyclists out there, or if you love to hike during the summer months. By embracing the challenge of exercising in the heat, you're not just surviving, you're thriving with improved endurance and stamina to show for it. And a little quick side story, I have the pleasure of getting to travel around Japan and play softball. So we go to different areas of Japan at different parts of the summer to play in these tournaments. And July is always a big tournament down in Okinawa, Japan. And it is always extremely hot and just suffocatingly humid. And I'm always in awe of these teams, these women who live down in Okinawa, who play down there all the time, and they just seem like they don't have to stop. While I need a break, I need to get out of the heat for a little bit, cool my body temperature down between games. These women just seem like it doesn't even faze them. And this is just, a byproduct or a result of, not a byproduct, but a result of being used to and acclimated to this heat, and they're just more efficient and they have greater endurance from being down there and being in that heat and being acclimated to that heat. And it's just, I'm always impressed by it. And that kind of goes into this other major benefit of training in the heat, which is the increased mental toughness. When you train in these hot conditions or you live in these hot conditions, it's not just your body that has to adapt, it's your mind as well. So pushing through those challenging, sweaty workouts builds resilience and mental strength. It's like training your mind to handle discomfort and keep you going even when things get tough. Mental toughness isn't just useful for your workouts, it translates to all these other areas of your life, helping you stay strong and focused in the face of challenges. And we know in military life, we need that. So by training in the heat, you're not just getting physically stronger, but also mentally sharper and more resilient, which is a powerful combination for achieving your fitness goals and handling the obstacles of military life with confidence. Let's chat about how exercising in the heat can really help with hydration and with electrolyte balance, which are both very important for staying healthy and feeling really good. When you work out in hot conditions, you should, in theory, just naturally start paying more attention to your hydration. You'll start to develop better habits for maintaining proper hydration, like drinking water regularly before, during, and after your workouts. And over time, these habits tend to stick with you. So it'll help ensure that you stay hydrated even when you're not exercising in the heat, which is just awesome for your overall health. And as you train in the heat, your body gets better at managing electrolytes like sodium, potassium, magnesium. These electrolytes are all crucial for muscle function and preventing cramps. When your body can handle electrolytes more efficiently, you're less likely to experience dehydration and the dreaded muscle cramps that can interrupt your workout. So by getting used to the heat, you're not just toughening up physically, but you're also teaching your body. You're training your body to stay more balanced and hydrated, which makes your workouts more effective and enjoyable. So it's a win-win for you and for your fitness and for your well-being. And it's important to note that while you may read on the internet that exercising in the heat will speed up your metabolism or increase fat loss or fat metabolism, I really couldn't find much peer-reviewed support for that in my researching. So if you do happen to see an improvement in fat metabolism, it's probably likely due to the fact that you are exercising, but that's independent from the fact that you're exercising in hot conditions. So just wanted to make sure I noted that. So now that we've covered the benefits, let's discuss how to safely exercise in hot temperatures, how to do it safely. Because if we're not careful, high temperatures can be very dangerous. And we can all know the benefits, but if we're not being cautious and preparing in advance, we could be putting ourselves in a much worse situation. So I'm stressing that. All of the benefits that we've discussed are great, but they're not going to do any good if you're getting heat exhaustion. So stick around. I'm going to give you 7 important things to focus on so that you can get all of the benefits of exercising in the heat while minimizing your risk, along with easy action steps that you can take. And we'll do that all in just 60 seconds.
Hey, fellow milspouse! Ever felt the frustration of being forced to restart your fitness routine every time military life throws you a curveball? Whether it's a PCS, a deployment, or a short-term assignment, disruptions can make progress feel nearly impossible. But now there's a solution designed just for you. The PCS-Proof Fitness Program from FitPath Coaching. Designed by a woman in military life, for women in military life. It's flexible, adaptable, and affordable. No more setbacks or starting over, just steady progress on your terms. Visit fitpathcoaching.com/PCS-proof-fitness to start your journey today. And as a special offer for our podcast listeners, get your first month free with promo code POD4FREE. That's POD, the number 4, FREE. Say goodbye to stress and frustration and hello to a stronger, healthier, happier you with PCS Proof Fitness. Join us today and get ready to conquer any challenge military life sends your way. PCS Proof Fitness, join today.
When we talk about exercising in the heat, we first and foremost need to talk about hydration management, which is the simplest, easiest way to keep yourself safe when exercising at any time, but especially during hot weather. First off, it's essential to start hydrating well before you even work out. So try to drink about 16 to 20 ounces of water 3 to 4 hours beforehand. This gives your body good hydration to start with and ensures that you're not already behind on fluids when you start sweating. And if you're choosing to work out in the mornings, this might mean that you need to start the day before, because if you're waking up and you're going straight into your workouts pretty quickly, that doesn't give you that 3 to 4 hour window. So it's really important that you start maybe hydrating later in the day before, and then have a little bit of water in the morning before you start your workout as well. During your workout, you should aim to drink about 7 to 10 ounces of water every 20 minutes or so. And it might seem like a lot. That might sound like a lot to you, but staying on top of your hydration throughout your workout is really key to keeping your body cool and functioning well. And if you're not used to drinking that much, it might take a little bit of getting used to, but it really helps to prevent the dehydration and keeps your energy levels up. So I must also specify that we don't want to be chugging water all at once. So it's better to drink small amounts more frequently rather than having a big bolus of water going into your body. Your body's going to end up just wanting to pee that out pretty quickly. So you might want to start making it a habit to drink just a little bit of water, maybe after you finish every set within a workout or after you finish one round through a circuit. That way you're drinking a little bit more frequently and your body will be able to better hydrate. And then finally, after your workout, it's important to rehydrate, right? So we need to think about replacing all of the fluids that we lost through passive dehydration, just our body respiring, but also through sweat. So try to drink roughly 16 to 24 ounces of water. And if you want to get really specific about it, you could weigh yourself before your workout and weigh yourself after, and that will give you an idea of how much fluid you've lost and how much you'll need to replace after that. So it's not absolutely necessary as long as you're proactive with consuming liquids during and post-workout, but that would be a really specific way if you wanted to go that route. When you're starting to work out in hotter conditions, it's also really important that you ease in. So begin with shorter, lower intensity workouts, maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, and this gives your body a chance to start adjusting to the heat without overwhelming it. As you get more comfortable, you could gradually start to increase the duration and increase the intensity of your workouts. So that might take you 1 to 2 weeks to go through this acclimatization process. You have to listen to your body and give that time that it needs to adapt. So for me, I noticed that my heart rate is already elevated just due to the higher temperatures and my body trying to cool itself down. So it meant for me that I needed to take longer recovery periods between sets just because it was hotter out. So really just give your body the time that it needs, and it's going to tell you, it's going to give you the feedback. So give your body that time that it needs to gradually adjust. And during that adjustment period, it's really important to monitor your progress and adjust based on how your body's responding. Pay attention to how you feel during your workouts and feel after your workouts. If you notice any signs of overheating like muscle cramps, excessive sweating, dizziness, fatigue, your body's telling you need to scale back a bit. On the other hand, if you're feeling good and you're handling the heat well, you could continue to slowly ramp up your workouts. But by taking this gradual approach, you'll help your body to better adapt to exercising in the heat, and you're doing it in a way that is safe and effective, making your workouts both more enjoyable and productive. No one's going to be wanting to work out more if you're having dizziness or muscle cramps. That's not really enjoyable. So really go slow and listen to your body's feedback. And another strategy to exercising in the heat is you're really going to have to schedule this out. It might mean that you need to make some adjustments to your workout schedule, but you want to try and work out during the cooler, quote unquote, cooler times a day, which is usually early in the morning or later in the evening. Because of the high humidity here in Japan, it never really feels like it cools off, but I do try to avoid working out during the hottest times of the day, the few hours that are just really at the peak heat hours of the day, and I definitely am not doing it under direct sunlight. But if you are choosing to go for a run or biking outside, you might want to make sure that you're looking for routes with plenty of shaded paths with trees. If you're at the gym without AC, which I'm saying from experience, try and find a spot near a fan or a well-ventilated area. And these small adjustments can make a big difference in keeping you cool and reducing your risk of overheating. Clothing is another really important thing to consider when you're exercising in hot temperatures. The first thing that you want to do is choose lighter clothing that's loose-fitting and moisture wicking. And I'm telling you, the moisture wicking is really key. The lighter colors help because they reflect the sun's rays rather than absorbing them. I'm sure you can think about times when you've worn like black when it's hot out. It makes you feel really hot. So wearing lighter clothing can help keep you cooler. Loose fitting clothes allow for better circulation. So we don't want to be wearing super skin tight clothes. We want to have a little bit more room to allow for better air movement and circulation around our body. And the moisture wicking fabrics help to draw sweat away from your skin, and that makes you feel a lot more comfortable and it keeps you dry. And this will also reduce your risk of chafing, and that's why I'm really emphasizing that. So having that high-tech fabric rather than like a cotton will make a big difference in how you feel after and reducing your risk of chafing. Investing in that good quality workout gear can make a really huge difference in how you feel during your workout sessions, and it'll help you stay cooler, more comfortable, protected from the sun, and make your workouts safer and more enjoyable. And of course, sunscreen is a must to protect your skin from sunburns and long-term damage. So if you are choosing to exercise and you have some sun exposure, make sure that you're applying before your workouts at least an SPF 15, but of course, choose what works best for you. After you finish your workout, it's really important to bring your body temperature back down again so that it can start the muscle recovery process, that muscle repair that we really need in order to get the most benefit out of our workouts. You can do this with a cool shower or a cool bath, but especially for women, doing something like an extremely cold ice bath or doing any of those like ice baths, it's not really recommended. That can usually actually prolong the stress response and slow down the recovery process. So not going to the extremes, it doesn't need to be like an ice bath, but just a cool shower will feel really amazing after a sweaty, hot workout session, and it will gradually start to cool your body temperature down, which is what we want. In addition to our normally balanced nutrition routine, after exercising in the heat, make sure to consume foods and drinks that are rich in electrolytes. These electrolytes are like sodium, potassium, magnesium. We've talked about that before, and they're lost through sweat. So we need to replenish them in order to maintain muscle function and prevent cramps. You can find electrolytes in all kinds of things. Of course, you could get some sort of sport water, but you can find electrolytes in your normal food. So anything that has like lemon waters, coconut waters, snacks like bananas, nuts, yogurt, any of those are great ways to replenish your electrolytes and help your body recover more efficiently and help you feel good. Lastly, ensuring proper nutrient intake to support hydration and recovery is really essential. This means not just drinking plenty of water, but also eating those foods that help retain that hydration and speed up recovery. So think water-rich foods, veggies, watermelon, cucumbers. We've talked about Greek yogurt, maybe having a protein smoothie with some of those things included in it. By paying attention to your nutrition and your fueling, you'll help your body to handle the heat a little bit better, as well as recovering faster, staying energized for your next workout. And it's all about giving your body the right fuel to perform at its best, even in these hot conditions. When my husband's home, he never has to check the weather because I'm going to be the first person to tell him just how hot it's going to be today. I'm always checking the temperatures and praying for that day when the temperatures start to come down, meaning that we're moving closer to fall. So the sixth thing that I wanted to share with you is to make it a habit to check the weather forecast and the heat index before you go out. The heat index gives you a better idea of how hot it actually feels outside when you factor in the humidity. And this is really essential if you live in a place as humid as Japan. It might say that it's only 85 degrees outside, but that heat index is bringing it up to 100 degrees. So you need to make sure you're paying attention to both of those things, and it can help you decide whether it's safe to exercise outdoors that day or if you need to make some adjustments. So for instance, if the forecast predicts extremely high temperatures or high humidity, you might want to consider that you need to shorten your workout for that day or lower the intensity of your workout. Or if you need to shift your workout time to earlier in the morning or later in the evening when it's cooler. And having this flexibility is crucial for maintaining safety in these very hot weather conditions. And if you do have the option, don't hesitate to opt for indoor workouts or air-conditioned environments when necessary. If it's just too hot outside, find an indoor gym or a shaded park, or even do a home workout in an air-conditioned room. Prioritizing your safety by choosing the right conditions will help you stay more consistent with your fitness routine without putting your health at risk. So remember that we're talking about reaping the benefits of training in the heat, but none of that matters if we're putting our health at risk. So please make sure that you're keeping all of these things in mind to keep yourself safe. And lastly, we need to talk about the importance of regular health checkups, especially when you're exercising in the heat. It's really important to keep your healthcare provider in the loop. They can help ensure that you're in good shape to handle the extra stress that heat puts on your body and catch any potential issues early on. So during your regular checkups, make sure to discuss how any medications you might be taking could affect your heat tolerance. There are several medications that can make you more susceptible to heat-related problems. So it's crucial that you understand these interactions and that your doctor can give you personalized advice on how to manage your exercise routine safely in the heat. Lastly, it's a good idea to regularly assess your fitness level and adjust your exercise plan as needed. So your body's ability to handle the heat can change. It's important to keep an eye on how you're feeling during and after your workouts. If you notice any signs of heat intolerance, like excessive fatigue, muscle cramps, dizziness, any of those, it might be time to scale back or modify your routine. But by staying proactive, staying vigilant about your health, you should absolutely be able to safely enjoy the benefits of exercising in the heat and keep yourself feeling great. Exercising in hot temperatures can be challenging. I know. I definitely empathize and sympathize with you if you're living on a military base or post or installation that doesn't have adequate cooling infrastructure in place. But with the right strategies, it can also be incredibly beneficial. We can use it to our advantage and as a tool to amplify our fitness level. Remember to hydrate properly, acclimatize and adjust gradually. You may need to tweak your schedule a little bit in order to choose the right time and location to work out. Wear appropriate clothing, pace yourself, and use cooling post-workout strategies. Keep a close eye on that heat index and fuel your body with the right nutrition and keep up with your regular health checkups. By following these simple actions, you can safely enjoy the benefits of heat training and improve your health and your fitness. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the PCS-Proof Podcast. I really hope that you enjoyed this topic and that it was applicable, that you could start to implement a few of these things into your routine, and you don't have to be afraid of the heat. We don't have to love it. I don't love it, but we figure out a way to turn it into an opportunity for our own journey. I hope that this topic was helpful for you, this hot topic. Leave me a comment on this episode in Spotify or head over to our Instagram at PCS-Proof Podcast and leave me a message there to share your thoughts, your feedback, something that you would like me to cover in future episodes. I'd be so grateful if you could just take a quick second to make sure that you're following this podcast on your favorite listening platform. And while you're there, leave us a 5-star review. It really helps the algorithm to get this podcast out to our larger community of military spouses and women in military life. Thank you again for joining me on this episode of the PCS-Proof Podcast. Until next week, stay cool, stay safe, and remember, no matter where in the world military life sends you, together we are PCS-Proof. Adios.
And here is the legal language. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional advice. The views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or fitpathcoaching.com. Moreover, we are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast.